This week on The Rock, we explore the popular new teen phenomena of vaping. Then, we explore the history of The Rock in a brand new segment celebrating our 15th year on the air. And then finally, we go to a reporter in the field to inform us about safe driving. All this and more on The Rock.
Welcome back to The Rock, everyone. I'm Connor Powell.
And I'm Lily Adkins.
You may have seen various news sources such as The Verge, Wired, and NBC mention a new epidemic among teenagers.
Underage use of e-cigarettes, such as the Juul, has become an issue in high schools lately, and John Harrison and Abby Davis decided to find out more.
As of September 2018, the FDA considers teen vaping an epidemic in the United States. We talked to faculty members of AHS to see what the guidelines are for vaping on campus and what they are doing in response to this epidemic.
I mean, originally these devices were used for nicotine cessation. They were used to help people get off nicotine by giving them a little less and less and less. And then it was just developed into a gadget.
It's an unregulated business, so when you're going to buy juice or at a smoke shop or a vape shop, it's unregulated, so there's no way to guarantee what's in there, what chemicals are in there.
The biggest offender is Juul, an electronics company that produces personal vaporizers and pods filled with flavored nicotine solutions. Juul recently pulled sweeter flavors like mango and cool cucumber off of store shelves, against accusations that they were made to attract a younger audience. They are still selling flavors like mint and menthol to adult smokers looking to quit the habit.
All you were doing was blowing out plumes of vapor. You'd get bored of it within a couple weeks. When people aren't getting bored of it and are continuing to use it, there's something going on there more than just a flavored water vapor.
AHS is focused on educating teachers, students, and parents about vaping and how it affects teens, but they aren't relaxed when it comes to their policies.
When you get caught, there's a 3 to 20-day suspension that gets put on, and then that can be reduced to 3 days if a student does a UA within 48 hours. If a student schedules and meets with a drug or alcohol counselor, if the student and parent do a reentry meeting, and then if the student follows through on what the counselor's recommendations are.
My main concern is their health, and to make sure they realize what they're ingesting and to make an educated decision on that.
You know, the research is coming out. Take a look at it. The nicotine's there. If there's nicotine in the product, the addictive quality is there.
For The Rock at Anacortes High School, I'm Abby Davis.
It would be really interesting to compare the FDA's reports on teen vaping to our own schools.
I agree. It's good to see more and more research coming out. But on an unrelated note, did you know that The Rock has been on the air for 15 years now?
Wow, really? That's a long time.
Yeah, it is. Eddie Clark is our resident rock historian here, and he decided to make a segment all about its history.
Hello AHS, and welcome to a particularly special episode of No Rock Unturned. Today's episode will be highlighting The Rock, its past, its present, and its future. We hope you enjoy. The Rock was formed around 2003, and while still informing the school, the program was much different than anything we air now. The show ran for 40 minutes due to the schedule, which at the time consisted of large block periods, and was played through the VCRs of the classroom. Back then, The Rock was more laid back and featured not only informative segments, but also independent films. ASD 103, one of the independent films, follows teachers on a strange day at AHS.
Alright, everybody listen up. It's time for the wheel suspension. Looks like the winner is Spencer McMillan, so...
Your dissection, and this is, we're going to be dissecting the cat today, so let's get started.
But Miss Swanson, our cat's still alive.
Oh, it's okay, just deal with it.
Darn it, Cameron, if I told you once, I told you 50 times. Stay away from Broadniak and quit the cigarettes. Gee.
And sometimes, even the segments seemed like indies. For example, in a segment about the new security cameras which shows choreographed violence around the school.
Into several bullies that we hope to not have to talk to again about that. And we're quite proud of that the cameras have been very useful to stopping bullying. Stop as an accident. They're there to check to see if Jake Wakeman is parking up there in faculty parking. I think he did that once this year, didn't you, Jake? Yeah, he did once. But he doesn't do that anymore. He's real good about that.
Throughout the years that followed, The Rock got shorter and more frequent, while ditching the indies. This leads us to 2017, when Thompson made the decision to restructure The Rock with the addition of reporters. The Rock seems more professional than it ever has been now, but we're still not perfect. We need to work on our mistakes and our deadlines. But to end this on a bright note, The Rock will be getting a professional studio in the next year, so don't get used to the hallway set.
We're usually in here probably every single minute of our spare time. Sometimes we end up spending the night working here. It's really stressful, and I mean, we work as a team. We're only in here during class time, and Mr. Thompson is a great, positive supporter. And yeah, it's really great making The Rock.
The Rock sure has changed a lot over the last 15 years.
Sure has. Probably for the better.
Hey Connor, do you drive?
Yeah, I do. Why?
Have you ever been in an accident?
Thankfully, no, but car accidents are one of the leading causes of death among teenagers.
Aiden Rattel and Mason Blackburn made a PSA on the topic of driving safety.
Driving is one of the most dangerous activities teenagers face on a daily basis, with around 33% of premature teenage deaths happening while behind the wheel. Being a safe and responsible driver is very important to you and everyone else around you. So, you may be asking, what can I do to stay safe behind the wheel of a car? The first step is to always wear your seatbelt. You should never be on your phone while behind the wheel. So when driving, make sure to always put your phone somewhere out of reach so you aren't tempted to check it out. Also, always make sure you use turn signals at an intersection so that other vehicles around you know what you intend to do at the intersection. And right after you turn on your blinkers, make sure to look both ways before turning into an intersection. This is a great way of avoiding hitting traffic while you are turning. If all these steps are followed, roads around the world will be much safer to drive on.
Guys?
Well, that wraps up our show for today. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to email them to us at therock@asc103.org.
With that, I'm Lily Adkins.
I'm Connor Powell.
And from
Our Rock to yours, have a great day, AHS, and stop leaving class early.